Hello, Sepgo here and welcome to a new Foxhole video. The new update of Foxhole, Foxhole Airborne, has arrived and now there are planes in the game. I've tested the planes, but as a player that has played around 1400 hours this game, and most of those hours playing as infantry, I'm going to show you an infantry video. This is going to be like a little guide of how to play infantry, but while analyzing the gameplay. I'm going to show you my little tactics, maneuvers, movements I do while playing on infantry, how to analyze the situation, and the importance of movement.
Oh sh! Oh man!
Space!
Biscuit! Holy sh! You risked it for the biscuit, my man. Oh, that was. Thank you so much. You really need to heal though.
I've been playing the war on Charlie, not on Able, because the queues on Able are just too large. However, I've also had a lot of fun playing on Charlie, also teaching new people how to use the mic and the text chat. If you want to use the text chat, press enter and start writing there. If you want to use the voice chat, press T and start speaking.
Hello.
And yeah, so it's kind of fun to play on Charlie too. It might not be the same skill, but I think there's a lot of things I can show you here in this battle that can be of interest for new players and even old players.
Armored vehicles. We need to push them.
I need to push to the other side, west. Before starting to shoot, let's look at where we are. Here we have a map of the state of the battlefield. However, this state is not the same as shown in the video. It's the state from the battlefield a while ago. This is really good to show you how the battlefield has progressed and what was my strategy in the moment I was playing in the video. Here we can see that the colonials are pushing the south with their main force. The fight on this side is really difficult for the collies because of the slope of the terrain. The colonials have to get up in the slope, and there are some points, some rocks that the wardens can use to shoot down into the collies. In the other side, the right flank of the wardens and the side I played the most, we can also see that the wardens are pushing into the bases of the colonials. And here the colonials are just defending that BB and the Bolt relic base. In the moment of the video, the situation has changed. This BB is now destroyed with all the defenses that surround it, and now the Vault relic base is kind of alone. However, after destroying the BB, most of the units that were attacking on this side went to the south and started defending there, using the rocks that were there to shoot down into the colonials. This movement is great for the defense by putting more people in the defense, but it leaves the pressure on the other side. So now the colonials have it easy to supply the base, the relic base in the vault, and it also gives them time to build defenses on this side that we just breached. Maybe also expanding the base that it's on the south. So with that said, I know that this sector is really important for us to capture, not only to avoid the colonials from getting logistics to the vault and building, but also because we can push down into the south. With these positions here, wardens can also play on the attack now, not just in the defense. The colonials here, now in danger of getting shot from two sides, need to retreat. With that, some colonial units are diverted and now they are not attacking the warden base. So this movement is also a defensive movement, because now we are relieving the pressure on our base that is being directly attacked. Always check your map. Press M and check your map. Then you can see what you can do, what strategy to use, where can you be more valuable for the front line, and stuff like that. So as you heard me, I'm telling all the other wardens to push west, because that's my plan and that's what I'm trying to do here. We know that the AI is down, however, I need to still check if there is some colonial infantry unit up ahead, vehicle or whatever. I aim and look if there's someone up ahead. I see that there's a colonial on the left side, so that's why I decide to go into the right side and then close in there. However, if you look up, I cannot see further away, so even if I go into the right, I still need to check if there are more units up ahead while moving forward.
Yes. Everybody, we need more settle.
I agree. We need to get west.
Now that I got in the position I wanted, we can see that there's a trench in the west. Also, we can see 2 colonials up there that just killed 1 warden, and don't forget the colonial that is down here in the left trench. If you look at my position, you can see that I'm using this destroyed bunker as cover from fire of the left side. Here I can see 2 things to do. One is charging up front, going into the left trench and kill the colonial from the back, and the second one is going back, throw my grenade in an attempt to kill the colonial that's down here. In the first option, I can kill the colonial and take the trench fast. However, if the colonials make a push in the south, and the 2 colonials that are up here start to pressing down on the trench too, or at least shoot at it, I am trapped on the trench and can't retreat. After failing the throw of the Mammon into the trench, now 3 colonials know I'm here, and also I couldn't kill the colonial in the trench. However, because I selected this option, I can still retreat into the north. And here, while I'm retreating, I'm also looking at west if there's any colonial on the trenches up there. This is important because I now need to defend myself of these 3 colonials, or maybe 4, that are going to push on me. I know these colonials won't push down here because they are running in the front line, and there's the possibility that there are some wardens down there in the east that can shoot at them. So they're going to just run over here and push me from this side. That's why I'm going to take this spot and I'm going to fire into the south to the colonials that are pushing me. I didn't saw any colonial on the west. I'm going to use this time in my advantage so I can kill these colonials, and then I'm going to take another position. Just before the colonials that are on the trench west can fire at me. Because I'm using the Sampo auto rifle, I can use the automatic mode to shoot at the colonials that are going to be close on me. So here now I need to take a new position, and my idea here was to go into the road, shoot at any colonial that might approach in the place I was, and also cover these destroyed bunkers. I also wanted to push there because now the colonials were getting close into the position I was now, and I could also shoot into the west again. And you might be thinking, hey Seb, why don't you use the trenches that are there? And I must say to you that I don't like using single piece trenches like this one. Yeah, that trench is close to the positions I want to hold and want to attack, but the problem with this trench is first, the barbed wire that is around it that won't allow me to retreat if I want to fast enough, and also that these single piece trenches are a trap for grenades. If one grenade lands in this trench, I'm completely dead. However, the other trench, the one that we have here, it's a really good trench, because that's a long trench, and if one grenade falls where I am, I can run to the north in this case, and then retake the position. But in this case, for my plan, well, it's not a good trench to be at, and also it doesn't allow me to shoot really well. Now that most colonials have pushed into this zone, I can take this position here and start shooting at any colonial that pushes into that zone again or falls back. Now that I have friendly units also closing in this place, it's really good position to start shooting and killing colonials. So here I changed the mode of the Sampo auto rifle by pressing F, and now I have it in the semi-automatic mode. That means the bullets do a little bit more of damage and have a little bit more of range, and it kind of behaves like a standard rifle, so it's like fighting with a Locaster or the Argenti if you are a colonial. When firing any weapon, make sure that your target is always on the white line. This line determines your effective range of fire. For accurate shooting, stabilize your weapon and shoot when the crosshair is small. The weapon stabilizes faster if you are taking cover, you are prone, or you are crouching like I'm doing in this moment. I recommend to always aim and put the crosshair exactly on the target. Thank you guys for being my human shield. Rest in peace. The half track forced me to be here, but now I'm in risk of getting shot at by the collie that's on the trench and also from a push in my blind spot from the south. That's why I need to fall back. Here I'm in danger. One colonial decided to push, but I have just 2 bullets on my gun at this precise moment. There's no time to reload, and this colonial is going straight for it with an SMG. That's why I immediately have to change my mode to automatic fire and try to kill him with whatever else I have. I was surprised here when I saw that my weapon fired 3 bullets and not 2. I guess there was a problem with the bullet tracing in this moment, cause the colonial received the damage apparently of 2 bullets only, or maybe there was a bit of lag. That bugged 3rd bullet messed me up, cause I wanted to immediately after the 2nd one stand up and punch him, but the animation of the 3rd bullet didn't let me stand up, so I had to change immediately and throw my mammon somehow.
I need a medic, I'm bleeding. Medic, I'm bleeding. Oh my god. We need to get to the other trench that is on the southwest. We can have better protection over there. We need to take the collies out of that trench.
Got it.
Try to push from the southwest side. Go around them.
After looking the trench and seeing that there were almost no colonials in there, I immediately decided to push into the trench, even though I've told the other wardens to push into the south and then southwest.
Let's get over them.
Now that I'm in trench, the colonial that was here left the trench and now is taking cover behind those bunkers. However, in this moment I'm receiving fire from the east and now I'm going to receive fire from the west. So I need to keep an eye on both sides. This because if one of those colonials decide to push me, I can respond to it. I followed this colonial soldier in order to shoot him. However, if you look at my position, you can see that I'm almost over the trench right now. So this is not a good position to shoot over those trenches in the south, where the colonial is hiding. So that's why I must retreat, get out of the trench, maybe from the east side, this trench, get into the rocks, and from the rocks shoot down. As you have seen by now, I'm following my plan in order to keep pushing south in this moment, now that we've captured the sector that was pointed in the map earlier. And if you look at these rocks, this is a really good position to start shooting into the south. Now that we have captured this position, you can see what I was telling you in the plan earlier. We have this position up here in the rock that is pretty good for us. Now we can shoot down here. Look at those colonials that I have up front. Now they are almost dead. I can also avoid them from building. I can shoot these structures here, avoid them from finish them. also the field hospital that's here and those bunkers with the watchtower can be destroyed. I later destroyed the field hospital. So yeah, now we have a really good position to start attacking and also defending, because the altitude of these rocks is pretty good for us to start shooting down here.
I'm here, you're good.
Watch out from the west side, keep moving west. Try to take the trenches down there.
I'm gonna fist you to death, you piece of Fuck me in the butt. That guy's being so fat up there. Can someone please...
I need ammo. Do you have 7.62? Ah. No, don't worry. There's a bunch of them here. Keep holding. You're doing great, man.
In the end, we lost the battle in the defense of the base. The colonials pushed there and the base was lost, apparently because a big armored push, so we were forced to retreat. I think that if we had more people on the side I was pushing, we could have forced the colonials to a bigger retreat and to defend another side earlier into the battle. But because we didn't have that much people in our side, the colonials were able to still build even though we were there. They also used people to push us back, and we were always regaining the terrain to fire down there, but it was not a solid front. But you know, this is the thing with Foxhole. Sometimes you lose because a sudden, extremely hard attack on your bases, and sometimes you win because there's the right people in the right moment. In this case, the colonials did a great job maintaining the high pressure on our defending base, and they won. With that said, thank you for watching the video and see you next time.